What's going on, Helldivers? We got a huge patch here. Gonna be some people that probably not be happy about some of these nerfs, and then some things depending on which weapon you're using. But yeah, let's go ahead and read this. Let me turn the camera off. And guys, I appreciate a sub. This would help. So this is a long list. All right. So overview for this patch: we made improvements and changes to the following areas: balance changes to weapons, stratagems, and enemies. Change to the spread democracy mission. So starting off, general. Armors with armor rating above 100 now also reduce damage on headshots. Breakthrough poses will now only play for the extracted. No stolen Valor on my ship. Burning damage reduced by 15%. Okay, now that's a positive. I have to say I like that. I think everyone does because it's just ridiculous. Now going down to primary, secondary support weapons. To the CB9 exploding crossbow, slightly smaller explosion, increased stagger, decrease number of maximum mags from 12 to 8, increase number of magazines received from resupply from 6 to 8, slightly reduced ergonomics, muzzle velocity increased. Quasar cannon, well, we know what that means. 5-second increased recharge, yep, that's a nerf. And then going to the BR-14, it seems like this got buffed. Full auto is now default fire mode, reduced recoil, positive, increased maximum mags from 6 to 8, positive, increased number of magazines received from supply, 6 to 8, positive, now placed among assault rifles. Now, the last 98 laser cannon, they increased the damage of that and slightly reduced damage versus large volume bodies. Oh. And now let's go to the Punisher Plasma. Decreased maximum mags by 4, increased the amount of magazines received from supply 6 to 8. Seems to be a thing with certain weapons now they're doing in this patch. They increased projectile speed, but will still keep a similar range. Decreased damage fall off on the explosion. Now placed in the energy weapons category. So they're placing more stuff in categories. And when we go to the Arc 12 Blitzer, increased shots per minute from 30 to 45. Okay. Now placed in the energy weapons category. Now going down to the R36 Eruptor, decreased number of maximum mags from 12 to 6. Explosive damage drops off slightly faster. And then going to the last 16 sickle. Decrease the amount of magazines from 6 down to 3. Damn, that sucks. Gotta be a little more careful using it, I guess. And then going to the last 5 scythe, increase damage from 300 to 350. It needed that. Decrease maximum number of mags from 6 to 4. Okay. Going down to the railgun, the 422. Increased armor penetration in both safe and unsafe mode. That's good. Stagger force slightly reduced. Okay. And going to the heavy machine gun, MG 101. Third person crosshair enabled. Okay. 63 CS. Diligence counter sniper. Damage increased from 128 to 140. Ergonomics improved. R63 diligence. Damage increased from 112 to 125. P19 redeemer. They increased and recoil. I can see it. P2 peacemaker increased damage by 15. P8 senator increased damage by 25. Speed loader added when reloading on an empty cylinder. Speeds up reload on empty considerably. Okay. Last 7 dagger increased damage by 50. AR-19 liberator damage increased by 5. AR-23C liberator damage increased by 10. AR-5 dominator damage decreased by 25. AX AR-23 guard dog decreased damage by 30%. I get tired of people lasering me with that. It's not like they do that, but it could just get annoying. I kind of see it as a new weapon, but if people know how to use it right, it could be, good. Just depending, but hell, using it right? I mean, but yeah, anyways, hopefully they learn how to do other things. R77 Airburst rocket launcher, not the people who loved it, hugs, you'll be alright. High five, actually. Handshake, Helldivers. Bro hug. Airburst rocket launcher will no longer detonate when shot near stratagems. You see right here the turret, the sentry supplies, and other Helldivers. Reduce proximity radius. And now going down to the stratagems. So the machine gun sentry, they increased the health to match other sentries. That's good for the MG43. And to the Tesla tower, increase health by 33%. That's good. Fab 14 Spear added reload stage reload after spent missiles had been discarded. I don't even know what the hell this means for the RL-77 Airburst rocket launcher list. Okay, what are you trolling me? Whatever that means, I guess we'll find out. Okay, enemies. Bow Spear and Nursing Spear's move speed slightly reduced. Good. Hulks. Force required for them to stagger slightly increased. Hulk Scorcher direct flamethrower damage reduced by 20%. On top of like reduced by 15% on the fire, this is good. Devastator fire rate slightly reduced. Only the standard. Gunship's sideways movement slightly increased. Scout Strider Riders now less vulnerable to explosions. Fog Generator's health and armor increased. We'll be alright on that. Gunship spawners now have much lower cap on how many gunships they can have active at the same time. Enemy patrols. Patrol spawning has been increased when there are fewer than 4 players. The fewer the players, the bigger the change. For 4-player missions, there will be no change compared to before. The biggest noticeable change will be for solo players at higher difficulties. That's good. Gameplay made minor level generation improvements to how we distribute locations throughout the mission map. This should improve variations in distance between objectives, and objectives will not likely spawn as far away from each other as often as before. Added setting in the options menu gameplay section to disable automatic climbing and vaulting while sprinting. Spread Democracy mission, otherwise known as Raise the Flag, can now be enjoyed on higher difficulties for maximum freedom spreading. And readying up, Helldivers now salute to ensure maximum democratic readiness. Added ambience to the trigger planetary hazard to underlie the severity so Helldivers can react accordingly. Shots that ricochet from heavy armor enemies will not properly hit the Helldiver who fired them. Trigger discipline is highly recommended. So they're punishing the people and not people who, then that's an interesting mechanic. I like that. Fixes, crash fixes. It's always nice to see crash fixes. I mean, this game is just annoying with that. Fixed crash that could occur when host a bandit mission with squad. Fixed crash that occur if a player tried to enter a occupied XO-45 Patriot suit. Fixed crash that could occur for all players after or during mission results screen. Fixed crash that could occur after shooting from the XO-45 Patriot's suit's rocket launcher. Fixed crash that could occur for all players apart from the one that rejoined the ongoing mission with different armor and got reinforced. Fixed superior packing mythology ship module not working properly. Fixed blast absorption ship module so that it corrects increased sentries resistance to explosions. Fixed issue where players could not navigate to the search results in the social menu. That's definitely an issue. Fixed some issues where items equipped in a warbond were not actually equipped. Fixed an exploit that allowed overly eager Helldivers to use grenades excessively. Fixed issue where kills from orbital barrage did not progress in direct fire exercise order. Fixed issue that allowed traders to try to sabotage the extraction shuttle by deploying sentry stratagems below it. Wow, dickbags. Fixed issue where ion storms incorrectly prevented extraction beacon from deploying. Fixed some stratagem beams using incorrect color coding. Fixed issue where the left stick on a controller could not be used to navigate the social menu. Issues where various UI elements were cut off-centered, or too close to the edge of the screen on ultra-wide displays. Fixed anti-material rifle facing away from the Helldiver after deploying it. Fixed a bug where player could duplicate rounds by canceling the reload of anti-material rifle at a specific time. Fixed a bug where anti-material rifle would consume an extra magazine after a canceled reload. Fixed bug where recoilless rifle would consume an extra shell from the backpack if the reload was canceled just after a shell was inserted, but before the reload was completed. Fixed an issue where the sickle and quasar cannon could not shoot through foliage. Fixed several issues where weapon thumbnails would disappear when scrolling through armory. Fixed issues where automaton gunships sometimes could not see the player. Fixed incorrect collision being left over after destroying automaton bunkers or detector towers with hell bombs. Fixed issue where hell bombs would not deploy on certain missions. And this is a lot. Fixed certain issues that resulted in Helldivers drowning in deep water upon a landing. Lol. Fixed issue where Hellpad space optimization made ammo go above capacity. Fixed the issue where stalkers became very visible in fog. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Mines are now pingeable for better coordinates with your team. Receiving friend requests now gives the player a pop-up. improved readability of prompts and hints displayed in tutorial and onboarding. Total experience is now visible in the career tab. Added better support for ultrawide monitors by fixing the aspect ratio of menus to 16:9 ratio, and added a setting to control the width of the HUD. Keybinds bound to number pad will no longer reset upon restart. Fixed inconsistent audio when headphones are plugged into the DualSense controller while playing on PC. Playing paper rock scissors in front of the ship shall no longer cause players to fall out into space. Lol. APW anti-material rifle and MG206 heavy machine gun now trigger hit markers while scoped in. Secondary weapon no longer remains in a ballistic shield ADS position after using a stem with the ballistic shield backpack equipped. Open text chat is now rebindable. Explosive weapons such as the R36 Eruptor, CB9 exploding crossbow, GP31 grenade pistol no longer pulls players inward from the blast. Disable the squad invites during the tutorial, which caused an overlap in the UI. Fixed primary and secondary weapons overlapping on the character model in the armory. Fixed UI elements during first boot are cut off on a 29 aspect ratio monitor. Report and block player is now visible in the squad menu. Dead scavengers now stop screaming for help if killed while calling in reinforcements. Fixed anti-air cannon showing up as stratagem scramblers and danger warnings. Now going back to the known issues, it's the same thing with cross-platform friend invites might not show up. Players cannot unfriend players. Players cannot unblock players. Friend requests cannot be accepted or changed. A username before the request was accepted. And just, stuff right here. Damage over time effects may not apply when dealt by the host. We expect to have this fixed in the next patch. Reinforcements may not be available for some players who join a game in progress. Helldivers may be unable to stand up from crouching when surrounded by enemies. Game may crash if the host leaves while dead and rejoins the same play session. Game may crash if the player changes the next language while on a mission. Players may experience delays in medals and super credit payouts. Enemies that bleed out do not progress personal orders and eradicate missions. Scopes of some weapons, such as the anti-material rifle, are slightly misaligned. Arc weapons sometimes behave inconsistently and sometimes misfire. Spear's targeting is inconsistent, making it hard to lock onto larger enemies. Stratagem beam might attach itself to an enemy, but it will deploy to its original location. Explosions do not break your limbs, except for you to fly into a rock. Lol. Area around Automaton Detector Tower makes blue stratagems such as the Hell Bomb bounce and be repelled when trying to call them down close to the tower. Planet Liberation, which is 100% at the end of every mission. Okay, so that's for defend missions. So that's it, guys, for all of this. This is a huge patch, so yeah. Like and subscribe if you like this type of stuff, guys. I'll be bringing you more, covering all the future patches on this game and tons of other games I stream and stuff on Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, look out for that. All right, guys. Y'all enjoy this patch out there. Mercy. And Helldivers. Yeah, Helldivers. We're not talking about it in real life.